is with us.
It's half of a special treat as Brent Barry is, but I'm going to do my best.
Brent Barry's pretty good.
He's really good at stuff. Yeah.
He reads you a lot.
Half a treat is better than a whole treat, right? I mean, come on.
Honored to be here.
We've got the visiting team and Memphis. Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, we know when you talk about dedication, Chris Paul is among the great.
Tremendously competitive with great attention to detail, David. Thanks.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
Now the starting group for the visitors. Crawford. And that one is hammered home.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man. And he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Memphis with the ball.
And they really took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
To the right side. Jacks up a three. Sinks the three-pointer.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Here's the teardrop. Goes back up. Rebound by Ajinça.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
About a minute played so far here in the first. Stokes kicks to Ajinça. From outside the arc. He can't get it to go. Gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. To the paint, here's Crawford, and a strong finish with 2 hands.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
No, that's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know, it turns out,
they embraced the
size. I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they wanted to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Wilt Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Wilt Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
Ellis can't get it to go.
And right now they're like a light switch in the off position. 1 of 5 so far, not an ideal start.
Rebounded by Ajinça. Memphis trails by 3. Bill, your long-lost cousin Ben Simmons headlined a tremendous rookie class in 2017. And in fact, people might think it's the best rookie season ever in the history of the league.
A lot of good players. Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum. Do we count Simmons in that class, though? I guess.
Well, since he won the Rookie of the Year, let's put him in there.
All right, we'll put him in there.
Technically.
I think if you come out of a year of rookies and you get one guy who has a chance to be a franchise guy, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3. If you're doing 3 a year for 10 years, you have the most ridiculous league of all time. I think the talent ebbs and flows, and we've had stretches. Like I think last decade, in the 2000s, especially like from about 03 to 07, 08, like we were just short all-stars. We were just short a few guys, and you saw teams like the Nets with Jason Kidd made the finals 2 years in a row, and you saw the Ben Wallace Pistons team actually win the title.
With no superstars.
Right. And you saw, in 06, the Pistons, remember they were on pace to win 70 games, and they had 4 All-Stars? The league just wasn't that good, and now it's flipped, and it's so loaded. I think from a talent standpoint, as good as any year since 1993.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, which 25 years ago, we're just loaded with guys who could be Hall of Famers someday, or 8-time All-Stars, things like that. So now you look at this 17 class, and Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum, just right there. That's awesome. I still believe in Lonzo, and I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I think those guys can be All-Stars too.
Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt esports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college, so I really hope it happens. Now, listen, the world changes every decade.
I know.
And you got to change with it. And the reality is esports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're way more likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't we be able to benefit from that? The whole esports in general, just the audiences they're getting, and as a spectator event, that's been building. So why wouldn't that work for college?
Harris kicks to Thomas. Unloads. Again, Memphis.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding at rising up off the ground.
Back to Harris. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice. Just like to see the defense get more aggressive. They are asking for trouble as they're giving up open looks to this point.
He's guarded by Thomas. The first one falls. And so he makes both from the line. And so here's Memphis. Pass to Harris. Shoots the 3. Memphis the rebound. There's 14 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Kicks to Gordon. Launches a 3. Doesn't go for him. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Memphis out in front, leading by a point. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. There's a great friendship between Melo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul. And Chris talked about where all that started.
It's been a sort of long relationship.
And you see that a lot nowadays. Star players developing friendships and GAs spending time with each other off the floor.
Yeah, some people hate it because they want that bad blood you used to see, but no reason you have to hate someone to really compete against them.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And for Memphis guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
through that first one. They've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, got a huge advantage.
It's good from long range. He's got 7. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways. If I'm getting to know you, what are the 3 things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
And there's the pass to Thomas. 5 to shoot. No good on the 3. Gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Lets it go. Offensive rebound.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And Bill, in talking about the connection between pop culture, sports, and basketball during your career, through it all, you've always been a writer, though, haven't you?
Always been a writer. Only that was the only child of me. The thing is, though, I would have watched more basketball, but basketball wasn't on. I try to explain this to people, how lucky they are to be able to watch.
They can't believe these finals were tape delayed.
Well, but think about the day-to-day, right? Like Magic Johnson. I feel like I saw his whole career, but I really didn't. Like, his first couple of years in LA, I think CBS was only showing like 6 or 7 regular season games.
Sunday afternoons.
In the playoffs, they would bump them off.
Yep.
USA, I think, got the contract in maybe 1982, but for the most part, like, I love George Gervin. I probably saw him play in person twice, and I saw him on TV maybe 10 times, 12 times. And now I could watch Giannis every day. And if Giannis dunks, I could see it on Twitter 5 minutes later, or 5 seconds later. So I think people are lucky. You guys should appreciate how lucky you are out there.
And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line. Bill, 1 shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up hissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number 1 choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Poked away. And so out of bounds it goes. And they'll keep possession.
And let's take a look now at some stats for Ellis. Last season, he played outstanding. Last season, put up about 30 points a game, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he led the charge when it came to scoring, led the team.
Yeah, he shot the lights out all year long from a variety of spots on the floor. Love that versatility.
Oof, ugly second quarter for him. And now I think he's starting to really force the issue.
Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top 5?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're to stop him, but, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just, you forget about it from one play and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get-out-of-my-way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking, jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
For Memphis, they have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Down low. Makes it off the glass.
This guy is so tough to guard. He feels like he could take any challenge that the defense is going to throw at him.
Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Brent, always cool, isn't it, to hear what Bill's thinking? He comes at things from a variety of angles.
Yeah, the pop culture stuff and the bits from personal life and his interaction around the game. He certainly has a passion for basketball, and it's great that Bill's adding some color to the audience's experience.
Memphis leading by 4. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. 11 points in the game.
I really like the awareness, noticing that he's got the mismatch, and then he just used his size as his advantage on the layup.
Stolen away. Drops in the breakaway layup. And now an 8-point Memphis lead.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Low block shot on the way. That's good for his third bucket. Now 3 for 6 from the field.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Puts up a 3. And again, it's Memphis with a 3.
Feeling it. No doubt about it. He's definitely feeling it right now. Shooting a terrific percentage from the field.
It's good.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
Yep, it counts. Ellis has got the lead up to 9 now for Memphis.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
I also like the adjustments that they've made. Each time they're defended a little bit differently, they seem to have the answer for it.
And so that brings the first. Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
Everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Back to Thomas.
Yeah, that's a pass he's got to catch. Maybe just starting to relax a little too much with that lead.
Here's Crawford. Getting open in the NBA, not an easy task, and there are a lot of players that are so good moving off the ball.
I think the first couple guys that come to mind are J.J. Redick and ChadKroger. Old school style in which they operate like a Rip Hamilton. And if you go back, Mitch Richmond, where they're using a multitude of screens, seemingly never stopping during an offensive possession and causing some kind of confusion. So J.J. and ChadKroger are still doing exemplary jobs of off-ball movement.
So it's the visitors now. It's a 14-point game. Count it.
This guy is looking for some life preservers. He needs more help. He's playing well, but his teammates have to pick up the slack here.
Fires it up. From the top of the key, he buries it. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Inside. And the layup's good off the glass.
Even though they're still trailing, he continues to be lights out from the field. What a competitor.
Fires top of the key. Crawford with the rebound. Crawford's got his 5th rebound in this one. Teardrop shot. It's rebounded by Memphis. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. From the corner, Ajinça with the bucket. And Memphis leads by 14. And so timeout taken by Alvin Gentry. Certain guys can play within themselves and still dominate. You played along one of the best you saw up close in Tim Duncan.
One of the things I think about with Tim is how many numbers he left on the board, Kevin. The way that Coach Popovich played him, minimal minutes, touches when needed most, where Tim usually came through, but how much more dominant he truly could have been.
And he didn't care about numbers, did he?
Not at all. He cared about one number, and that's putting W's on the board. But how many more things Tim Duncan would have led categorically in the history of the NBA at the power forward position, but overall, the numbers would have been staggering.
He has a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Alvin Gentry told his team during the break. He said, guys, I know you've worked hard. I know you're a little tired, but we've got to dig deep right now and find a way. Take a deep breath, and let's get it done. Kevin, we'll see how they respond.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And another miss by Memphis.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Memphis on defense. 10-point lead. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
How about this run there in the midst of, on the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead?
The aggressiveness has picked up on both sides of the floor. And I'm not sure what took them so long to muster that, but here we are.
They grabbed their own miss. Off on the layup. Memphis leading by 8. Here's Stokes. His three-pointers off the mark. Gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And all of a sudden, that great run makes this a ball game again. And now is no time to take your foot off the gas. They have got to stay aggressive.
Well, they stacked up everything to get to this point. Now they have to shift into overdrive.
And now a chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight from our Jordan Player of the Game.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
Good. 27 points for him.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Yeah, shooting at a very high percentage right now. This one extending the lead.
And it's Memphis on the break. On up the court. Shot on the wing. And the jumper is good. And now a 10-point Memphis lead. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Goes up to the stripe. And he comes up with the deuce.
To leave a guy like that wide open from range, big mix-up.
Memphis has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Ajinça kicks to Stokes. Memphis moving that ball around. Pulls it from the elbow. No good off the back of the rim. And here they come. A pull-up. And Williams with the nice bucket inside.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
He's guarded by Williams. And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. Off target from outside. Hitting straight 49% from the field. To the paint. Shot is good, and the Memphis lead's cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Williams. 1:11 left in the fourth. Now, here's Ajinça, guarded by Crawford. And again, Memphis no good. Ajinça's gone 3 of 8 shooting from the floor. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
1
58 seconds left in the fourth quarter. From past the arc, here's Stokes. No good from outside. To the inside. Crawford count, and he has brought them to within 2 points.
Well, that is NBA level right there.
No doubt. Professional move all the way. Puts the team on his back when it matters most.
Goes up. Money!
And Kevin, maybe the play of the game right there.
A tremendous instincts grade to come up with a steal and then attack the basket.
Well, the other part is just reading the crucial moment. That's a clutch move right there. It could change the outcome of the game. He's a guy that lives for a big moment like that. Great focus and courage in the clutch.
And so timeout taken by Alvin Gentry. What do you think, guys?
And usually you want to go for the 2-for-1 here to maximize the clock.
There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Hands the three.
And you can see the defense now getting a little nervous, almost on their heels. I think they're starting to feel it.
Memphis with the ball. Over to the wing. Count it.
That bucket was absolutely huge. A defensive stop now may just seal the deal.
And so timeout taken by Alvin Gentry. Guys, your thoughts?
And really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Challenge is to get that good look, preferably the guy with the hottest hand.
"17 seconds left in the fourth. Covered by Jensen. Yes!
And they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're down by 1. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Challenge is to get that good look, preferably the guy with the hottest hand.
11 seconds left in the game.
2 shots, gentlemen.
So the first one drops, and that ties the game up. Can't knock it down, and they really needed that one.
He was able to tie it up. He has to be disappointed that he could not give his team the lead. The fundamental footwork and boxing out there that allowed him to rip that ball right off the rim.
And that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. We've got more in store for you right after this. Glad to have you with us as we get going in overtime. Neither team giving an inch in this one. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. So on the floor for Memphis.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Ajinsa's got the game tied up here for Memphis. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
Here's Ellis to the wing right side. Launches a three. Rebound by Williams. One of the high points for them in this game at 54%. Inside. That's tipped, and he's able to get it back. Crawford's shot is good. It's extra time here, just over a minute into overtime. From deep, Ellis. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Offensive rebound. Crawford fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
And that one falls for Crawford. Memphis trails by 7 to end the run. And there's the nice layup by Ellis.
Cannot give players that kind of positioning, and the defense also late in trying to alter that shot.
Knocked loose. Just over a minute and a half played here in overtime. And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession. Memphis has gotten neither of their first 2 three-point attempts to fall here in overtime. Three-pointer. Crawford with the rebound. Crawford's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Rebounded by Ellis. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 5 on shot attempts since the end of regulation. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
He's gotten off to a 4 for 8 start from the field in overtime. The first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. He's able to hit the second one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so here's Memphis. Shoots the 3. But they'll get another chance. Ajinça up top. Ellis kicks to Ajinça. Memphis moving that ball around. Just 4 to shoot. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. And now we've got the intentional foul. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. No good at the stripe this time. The second misses also.
Time working against them here.
Got to grab a quick score and a foul, and even then it might be too late.
It's good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
All keyed right there from the lead pass, right on the money.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
It's the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
Wow, I tell you what, those free throws will give them some much-needed breathing room. 2-possession game now.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 4. We've got 22 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Ellis dishes to Stokes. Shoots from 14. He doesn't hit that one. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Number 4. Taking 2 shots.
2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. I like the fact that he took his time at the line, and simply did what he does, practice his routine and seal it.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 6. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first overtime. Guys, what do you think?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul make things interesting.
Definitely. Everything has to happen perfectly just to give them a chance.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he does get the second one. And that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's Ellis. Tries from 7. It's good.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
And so timeout taken by Alvin Gentry. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. It's the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
And no secret here, guys. They've got to get a 3 if we're going to get yet another overtime.
The visiting club takes the win on the road. They escaped with a victory, although they needed an extra period to get it done.
Yeah, but what a great game. I mean, both teams, I felt like, gave it their all. But when it came to OT, it was just all about sheer determination on their part.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg